Hey everybody, this is Lynn Cole and welcome to my YouTube channel. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And today I'm going to do a total transformation on one of my longtime friend customers. I've been coloring her hair for years. She's starting out with copper with blonde highlights, and we will be taking her into a 3-color ombre. I'm going to let you see me do before, during, and after. I'll be talking you through it, what I'm using, why I'm using it, and let's stay tuned. And this is going to be a great transformation. She's a really, really good, lively person that can sport that 3-color ombre. She has the personality for it. And you guys will see. Just stay tuned. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, so we're getting into this transformation. I will be using Pravana's Pure Light Ultra Lightener, which is mixed with a 2-to-1 mixing ratio, and I'll be using 20 volume. And I'm going to start this transformation out by doing a platinum card to remove all of the old previous color and get myself set up for my new 3-tone ombre. Okay, everybody, we're to the part of the coloring where the client has to process. I've done a platinum card on my client, and while she is processing, I decided to talk to you guys a little bit. One of the things I want you guys to know is what I meant when I said that the Pure Lights Ultra Lightener from Pravana was a 1-to-2 mixing ratio. That means every gram or ounce, I love using grams, every gram of powder that you put in your bowl, 2 times that amount is going to be your developer. You want to know why? You're following the manufacturer's directions, therefore you're going to get the best results. Therefore, if something was to ever happen and the client was to sue you or so on and so forth, the company doesn't have to stand by you because you did some Jekyll and Hyde mess. I don't know why, but you did, because you eyeballed it, and you don't understand that you're doing a different formula every time you put product on that client's hair. Let's say, for example, you're using a product and you decide not to do the 1 to 1.5, and you get a new look 6 weeks later when they come back for a retouch. You use the same color, you soon use the same developer. It didn't come out the same. You want to know why? Because you used a different formula. One time you use 45 grams of 5G. The next time you use 49 grams of 5G. The next time you use 57 grams of 5G. It didn't come out right. You want to know why? Because you didn't follow the instructions. So what you want to get used to doing is following instructions. Get a scale. Scales aren't that expensive. You want to use a scale, and the scale is going to help you to follow those grams. I use grams all the time. I love because you can do it in smaller increments. Y'all hear my other phone ringing? So if you have a product and it's 1 to 1.5, what I've always done, and anybody that's ever taken a Pravana class from me, I'll go ahead and do all of the math for you so that you don't have to do it. You standing there with it on your wall at the dispensary. And the reason you're doing that, because you're more concerned with the timing of mixing that versus doing the math. You're not in school anymore. If something is 1 to 1.5, it's going to be in grams. For me, on this mixing ratio chart I'm going to give you, say you put 30 grams of 5N. 1.5 of that is 30. That's 1 to 1. Half. What's half of 30? 15. So what's 30 plus 15? 45. Easy breezy. Let's just say you put 50 grams of 5N in a bowl. 1 to 1.5. 1 to 1 is 50-50. What's half of 50? 25. So you want to know how many grams of developer? 75 grams of developer. Follow the directions. Get a scale. Your business is worth that much money. That scale isn't going to break you. You don't have any excuse not to use a scale. Keep a record, keep a log, write it in, type it in when you do these clients' formulas, because every time they come back and you eyeball it, you put a new formula on them every time. And they're complaining. You wondering why? You want to know why? Because you didn't follow the manufacturer's directions, my directions. You didn't follow the mixing ratios. If something is 1 to 3, what is that? 10 to 30, 20 to 60, 30 to 90. Actually follow the manufacturer's directions. Actually learn how to go on and write it out like I did. The 1 to 1.5, I just told you guys how to do the 1 to 1.5. You guys know how to do 1 to 2. You guys know how to do 1 to 3. So all the rest of the time you guys are watching me, every time I say a number to another number, that second number is always going to be my developer. I'll go back and explain it. I'll always have these little portions where I'm explaining. So right now my platinum card is developing. I'm taking this little bit of time so you guys to get to know me better, and I can explain some of the math of it. And when we come back later, we're going to show me shampooing her and conditioning her. I'm going to give you guys the formula of what I'm going to put on. You're going to be able to watch me apply a little bit and the end result. So stay tuned, and I hope you're enjoying so far. Okay, I'm back and I've did my deposit. My deposit consisted of 3 formulas. first formula was 6.37, 7N in dark mahogany, express tones from Pravana. That will be her base. The second formula is pastel potion and 6.34. The third formula is enchanted pink, straight out. What I did with those three formulas, you guys, is parted her hair in 4 quadrants. You guys seen me do that, and went through and did all the base, the roots area. After that, I still kept myself in sections, but I actually was sectioning it with just like my fingers, my pinky. I didn't want straight lines. I just wanted it to have like a nice little flow to it. So I did the base in 4 sections, and then when I grabbed chunks, I actually used my pinky to just grab little uneven parts. I would get so far down with my 6.37 7N dark mahogany mixture, and I would stop, and then I would use either my pink or my 6.34. Where they meet at, you do a lot of melting, where you're taking your fingers and you're doing a lot of working it together. You want it to have a nice blend. You don't want to see a harsh line of demarcation. Always keep you a damp towel available so that you can constantly wipe yourself off, because when you're going to the next color, you don't want your 6.34 to ever mix with your enchanted pink, because now you're being a sloppy hairstylist, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to shift. So, in my meshies, as you guys see, keeps my colors from touching, because I went through all of that neatness, not for it to lay on top of each other. I need everybody to develop in your own room. Don't come over here, stay over there. You know what I'm saying? So here we go with my base, which flows into my different formulas. It's processing with 10 volume developer with the 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio, which we already talked about. So that means if I had 40 grams, which I did, 40 grams of pink, then it would be 60 grams of 10 volume developer, because 40 plus 40 is 1 to 1. 40 plus 60 is 1 to 1.5. And why is 60 1.5? What's half of 40? 20. What's 60 equal to? 40 plus 20. Got that? So I did her base. Then after I did her base, just like about 2 inches, and I parted in vertical partings, and I just went all through my 4 quadrants. I went down where they meet at, took my fingers with my gloves, did a lot of blending. And the reason I put in so much work with all of this is because I want my work to look excellent when it's time for her to go out here in these streets and represent for me like I'm a pimp or something. You know what I'm saying? So what we want is to blend. Let it develop. Blend. And that's it for my application. And before you ever rinse off any applications, here's another little gem for you guys. The leftover dark color that you have on a bowl, having a brush around the edge of people's hairline, you want to take color and emulsify the color on top of the color, because it will remove it off the skin before you shampoo. If you wait till after you've shampooed, it's too late. You've stained them. So when you leave a salon and you see that harsh line of whatever the dark color was, it's because they did not do that. If you don't have any left in the bowl, simply take your finger, because you're on your way to the bowl and shampoo it out anyway. Take your finger and simply grab off some product. And you want to do it with some little some elbow grease. And you want to work around the hairline, and you'll actually see it where the color removes color off of skin. You're going to go around the hairline before you ever let that water and shampoo hit. That's one of the little gems I want you guys to remember. Do not send your client out with a bunch of harsh lines, look like a magic mark around their hairline, where everybody can tell they were just freshly colored. You want your color to look new and fresh, but you don't want it to look like a stain around their skin and their hairline. So remember, out the bowl, off the brush, or just simply get it and emulsify around the hairline. So we'll be back later with more of today's transformation with Lynn Cole. Okay, so my transformation client is under the dryer before I blow dryer and, wand curl or a flat iron or whatever I'm gonna do. But I decided to take this time to give you guys a couple more gems that I've learned over the years. Because basically, after years and years of being a hairstylist, years of working as a platform artist, educator for different companies, brand specialist, I know a little bit about a little bit, something. So how many of you guys don't know why the stylist rinses your hair with cold water after service? Rinsing out conditioner, certain colors, so on and so forth. Let me tell you why. Warm water opens the cuticle, cold water closes the cuticle. What you want to do is close that cuticle down so that you can lock in those color molecules or lock in that conditioner that you just put on that client's hair. So that's something that you guys can always remember. Warm opens, cool closes. Because if you went through the process, shampooing the hair, you went through the process of wringing the hair out to the best of your ability. You wringing the hair out to the best of your ability because the more water trapped and held within the hair, the more you dilute in your own product. And why would you want to do that? What's the sense in buying the product if you're going to water it down? So let me tell you why that doesn't make sense at all. You just tried to basically put something in your mouth and you got a mouthful of water. Look at your hair like that. As it's shampooed in the warm water and the pH of the water, it's opened the cuticle up a little bit, and that color molecule goes in there, that semi-permanent, that conditioner goes in there. You need that water out of the way. That water is doing nothing but diluting your product. So cool water to close, warm water to open. Another pro tip, gem I can tell you, is when you are doing things like doing an all over color. You want it to look glamorous, dynamic, amazing, whatever. You have just did a permanent color. Another trick to follow up with is called an overlay. An overlay is a semi-permanent color laid directly over the permanent color the same day. You're not doing this later on down the road as a retouch. It looks like it's not dull. You're trying to make it vibrant, come back to what it used to look like. No, you're doing it today. Let me tell you why you're doing it today. Because they want to leave with so much vibrancy, color, shine as possible. All semi-permanent colors are going to give you some shine. So what you do want to do is sometimes just tack on a few more minutes to that client's visit, tack on some more money, and do an overlay. Just think if you were to do some type of beautiful, beautiful mahogany color. Follow right back up with a semi-permanent that day, which would be however you want to mix it. A little bit of red with a little bit of mahogany or whatever, follow something and put it right on top and just make that color pop more. Just make everything you do walk out the door looking good. Everything you do walk out the door looking like your signature mark is on it. Because right now, if you get out of this chair and your hair don't look like Lynn Cole did it, then you need not be coming to Lynn Cole. I've actually had to turn clients down because, I'm going to do my color at home. I'm going to just put a semi-permanent on and I'm going to do this and that at home. I've turned people down. You're not going to leave my chair and be walking around these streets talking about Lynn Cole did your hair, because people going to think Lynn Cole did that color. No, she didn't, because it doesn't look like a Lynn Cole touch. So no, you're not going to be walking around, I'm going to do my color at home and come to you later. No, go to a stylist that lets you walk in there with a brown paper bag of color you bought from the beauty supply store. Not with this one, not with this one. I got too much out here. Nope, not going to happen. So another gem I can give you guys is, let's see. It matters the shampoo your client is using at home. It matters. You want to retail to your client. The reason you want to retail to your client because it's more money in your pocket. And another reason you want to retail so you can have more control of what they're doing at home. If they're at home using shampoos that's harsh, you want to try to retail the product line you're using, explain it, be able to talk, give them little gems about that shampoo. Retail to them the shampoo that's best for them. Retail to them a sulfate-free shampoo. Retail to them something that's moisturizing and conditioning to their color. You went through all of this, they went through all of that. Put it into your package, put it into the price, but make sure you're controlling what they shampooing and conditioning at home with. Tell them the things that you know to be true, and they don't know it. They're not stylists. Tell them about rinsing with cold water. It don't matter. I've rinsed my hair with cold water before in the shower, and my body way back here, my head up like this. Do what you got to do to make that head look good. So I hope y'all like and learn from these little gems I'm giving y'all. With every video I do, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna stop here and there and give y'all little gems. Always feel like you can like, comment, and share. If you comment under these videos, I'll go back in there and answer you. So just remember, cold water closes, warm water opens. Control that shampoo, control your image, control your brand. You're not supposed to be walking around these streets talking about Lynn Cole did your hair and you look a hot mess.